All right, here we go. I hope that you guys are ready to go. It is Monday. Yeah, that stinks. But guess what? We have a whole new week ahead of us. It's still the beginning of the month. So we have a great opportunity in front of us to take charge, take control, and not allow these awfully dreaded summer months to take over our entire motivation, our drive. I take it you guys got on this call this morning to get that motivation, to get just that. So I'm glad that you joined us today because for those of you who did decide to wake up and be little eagles today and get on this call and this webinar, we have a couple of different things that we're going to talk to you guys about that you may or may not know of just from being on last Wednesday's webinar, but it's been a while since I've gotten to talk to you guys. Last week we didn't have one, obviously, because of Memorial Day, so it's been a little bit, so let's go ahead and get motivated. Just as a reminder, we did post the Monday Motivation image to the Planet Beach corporate Facebook page for you guys to go on, steal the image, save it to your computers, and then repost to all of your social media platforms. So that way you can stay in the eyes and ears of your followers on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever you guys have out there, and get people following, get people sharing, and getting your Planet Beach name out there. Promote that and incentivize people to do so. With a little something, a little enter to win or something if they share, and however many people get the most shares get something in return. Just this way you have everybody sort of working out there for you, and everybody loves a good motivational image. I know if you're Facebook friends with me personally, you know that I'm always, sharing stuff like that on my end. So what a great way to get brand awareness out there than to have our Planet Beach name and logo out there and trending. So go ahead and get on that, write that down to knock that out. It's one of those little busy work items if you haven't done so already to take care of. We only have 25 days left until we are going to end that red appointment, the Reds contest for convention. As you may know, we kicked this off last October on the red appointment contest for our spas who have booked the most reds, that have shown and actually they've consulted. A bunch of different things go into this. If you're fairly new and you kind of have no idea what we're talking about or what we've been talking about, just a little brief rundown of what this is we actually put in place to help you guys get boosted in motivation for booking red appointments in your stores to increase your sales and increase your new member counts. We started this contest where you, your spa, your team, everybody in your location would be eligible to win a cruise. And the details have been made. It's on Orion. You can look through all of those. I won't bore you with the details in case, all of us here know what that is. But you can get the details of that on Orion anywhere. And we actually are going to pick the top 10. As you see on your screen here, we do provide the top 15. So this way, that 5 that barely made the cut can see where they're at, see where they fall, and try to push themselves a little more. But it's ultimately for the spas that book the most red appointments, that actually they're calling, confirming them, so they're showing up. So a couple of different things come into play here. So you can't just book 100,000 red appointments, not one person show up and you get credit. Obviously, there's a few different formulas that weigh in on that to see if you are a top 10 location, because the show rate is incorporated in that, as well as sell them something, and new member sales based off of those red appointments are all incorporated in that formula to finding who the top 10 is. So big shout out if you're looking at this. If you saw the newsletter, then you saw this. We have Gulfport in the lead, then Covington, then third place is Uptown New Orleans. We have fourth place Bearden, Tennessee. Minnesota 36, Hastings, woo at 5. We have Tennessee 20, Turkey Creek. LA 19, Old Metairie, which is the greater New Orleans area. We have Briar Creek, North Carolina. California 129, our Los Angeles location that has recently opened up in our LA Fitness out there in Southern California. And then we have our LA 57, which is our Luling location, coming in at 10th place. So here we are. Those are the top 10, and then you guys are right behind them. Manhattan, Kansas, you're at 11, Sarah. So keep pushing yourselves. Clinton, Utah, Rob, you and your team, you can do it. Don't settle for anything less than greatness, right? We need to push ourselves to the top 10. Utah 6, which is Centerville, Carrie Baugh and her team. Then Ohio 7, Polaris Parkway. And Washington 15, which is our Spokane Valley Banner Center location. You guys are right there, almost in that top number. Don't you guys want to go on this cruise? I know that I want you guys to go real bad. So congrats to you guys. Keep pushing. The contest does not end until July 1st. So you have plenty of time to be able to get in that number. So with that said, I want to go through a brief little run through, and if you guys are not able to have your team on this call, which is, we don't actually recommend that anyway, but if you want to take this back to your team, this is really important. There's so much confusion across the board, and we constantly get the question, okay, can you please tell me what a red appointment is? A lot of people might think they know. A lot of people will rattle off what they think it is. And 9 times out of 10, they're almost right, halfway right, or just a little bit right, or not even at all. So I want to make it clear right here, right now, so this way you can understand it yourselves, to take it back to your team, that a red appointment is not an expectation of a sale. To clarify, a red appointment is actually a projection. What we do here is it's a direct result of your marketing and prospecting efforts to get any non-member, which, mind you, paid in full, 1, 3, 6 month, 12-month people that you want to solicit to come in and try and get them on an EFT membership, and session-based customers, they can be considered a red appointment if you're soliciting them, asking them to come in, whether it's you're extending a week of unlimited spa services and they just purchased a few UV sessions or a few spa-specific sessions, and you want to invite them to use an entire week of unlimited spa because it's your efforts to make them an EFT member. That is considered a red appointment. And what you're doing is you need to have a consultation with them, have them fill out a personal spa profile using the other document that is often swept under the rug, which is the personal regime builder, that form that actually creates a schedule and matches the services and products that the customer or member needs to utilize. That way it guarantees, and it's a helpful closing tool for products and for memberships. Using those two together in a consultation to do a tour, discuss all of that, that is a red appointment. So now we're going to tie this into our daily goal of 12 reds a day. Many of you have heard from us, from your regional performance consultant or your regional developer, that magic number of 12 red appointments per day. That's the goal, right? Well, again, there's a misconception that we're expecting 12 guests to show up at your door. Again, that would be phenomenal, and I think that we would personally fly out to throw a party in your lobby and celebrate how awesome you are if you can manage to get all 12 people you book every single day to show up. That'd be amazing, actually, because you'd probably have a lot of money in the bank. But what it is since we're tying it back into 12 is a projection, because we're following the age-old rule that is still a trend today that still holds very strong. When you book 12 red appointments, the expectation of the least that you're expecting is a 50% show rate, even with your confirmation calls, with your following up with missed appointments to reschedule, all your efforts you're putting into that to make sure that they show up or come back if they didn't. We're realistically expecting 6 people to show up of the 12 people that you booked. Because of 6 people, if you have a 50% closing percentage, that's 3 new members. And if you're not that perfect, many of us don't have a 50% closing percentage, then worst case scenario, if you're in the 30s to 20% closing percentage, you still might get 1 or 2 new members every single day. Now, I want you to calculate that EFT increase even if you just sold $59 a month memberships only across the board and you got 2 members a day. Heck, even 1 member a day that would get you 30 or 31, depending on the month, new members, that increase to your net EFT. Can you imagine where you'd be sitting with that? So that is why we call it a red appointment. And that, realistically, my friends, I want to clarify this right now and maybe help you with your thought process when you're training, when you're getting them to understand what red appointments are, why we have to have 12, because our realistic expectation is our goal is to at least, and I say at least, get 6 new people or non-members in the door every single day. And using the 12 goal is just like every day you set a goal for yourself, for your team. When you're making a sale, you're always shooting higher, right? So that way, if the goal's really, an $800 day, you're saying it's 1,000, because worst case is if they know it's 1,000, they're going to push them. All of them are going to push each other, and you chance to actually drive in more than just mediocre. So it's the same way that you look at that thought process. And I just wanted to go through that because if it helps you to look at it as our minimum is to at least see 6 guests per day, get them in the habit of that 12 red appointment setting by understanding that. And this way you'll actually see them being more proactive with tying that into good leadership and management. So I hope that I clarified that for you guys, and I hope that you have a clearer mindset and you have a little bit more direction on your job and what you're supposed to be doing. So with that said, let's talk about what we have for you to be able to do that successfully. What's your game plan for the week? If you don't know it, go download the June marketing calendar. It's in advertising and marketing folder in Orion. When you go there, you'll go to 2016 campaigns. You'll see a folder labeled June. When you click on the June folder, everything you need that's in this calendar, along with the calendar itself, is in there. Now, if we're following this, if you've not done this already, please see that we should have created a Google form already for your Father's Day, all of your Google forms. If you know what the Father's Day campaign is, there's one for members and one for customers. And you can actually use the ones for customers is realistically universal because members can purchase this as well because we have an Add Your Dad campaign, which for members, they can add their dads on for, no money down and for a discounted monthly due and a 30-day trial to see if they like it or not. It's a great way to market using the tagline of buy a gift and spend nothing up front on a gift for your dad, especially for those people who might be in a money crunch, who might not be able to spend a whole bunch of money right now. They won't have to worry about paying for their Father's Day gift until your next draft. That might be pretty convenient. So that's for your members. Customers, we're following the same Mother's Day campaign, 3 for 30. I won't go into details on any of that because you can locate the marketing calendar in that same folder in June. The marketing guide for this that goes through details on how to market in this campaign. So also something that we did was we enhanced the calendar to have links in there for you to be able to click and join these calls, like the Monday motivation call that provides you with your to-do list for the week, for the hyperlink on Wednesday for this Wednesday's training that's super important for you to log into because it's going to help increase your retail sales specific. We'll talk about that in a second. But you see here, everything has a task. And I'm super excited to tell you that this is the first month we actually have templates for you guys to send out email blasts and text blasts. You don't have to come up with what you're going to put in it. You don't have to figure it out. You don't have to be marketing gurus to know exactly how to effectively text message blast and email blast. We have it for you. And I want to give a huge shout out to Carrie Baugh up in Centerville, Utah, because I'm in the email list along with most of you guys. I get all of your email blasts if you're in my market specifically, but I actually saw it and she already used it for her 3 for 30 sessions. That was like, click here if you want to redeem this. And basically the process behind that to follow up with is they're calling and they're making these sales with all the people responding yes, that they want to get that for their dad. So kudos to you guys. You guys are awesome. You rock. Keep it going. And I want to provide you with a little bit of motivation today just because everybody always likes the motivation part of it, right? So I'm a big Suits fan, as you can tell here from if you're looking at the webinar. I love that show. I love that TV show. Anything like that, it's always awesome. But loving Harvey Specter. One thing I want to share with all of you out there, whether you're a manager, whether you're somebody striving to grow in the spa, or whether you are a franchisee just looking to find good people, just know that it's always leading by example is always the best method of creating positivity in your store, because it's all about the attitude, not the aptitude. That can be taught if the attitude is in place. And I can tell you what rubs off, what's the biggest motivator among millennials more than anybody is when they start to see that they're doing good at something and they're getting better, they are more prone to continue doing it and to continue pushing themselves and constantly outdoing themselves, because we love recognition. We love to be rewarded. Sometimes all that matters is to be pointed out as you're the hero, way to go, you're the best we have, you're our MVP, you're our star, and it continues. So get your staff in a habit of understanding that, listen, once you start doing anything that you're told to do, once you start being awesome, once you just take that initial step and you get a little taste of what it's like to be successful, you are never going to look back again. You're never going to turn back, because who wants to go from awesome to I don't really care if I'm good or not? I mean, it's kind of almost like a character flaw or quality, if you will. So keep that in mind. Now let's talk about the areas of focus for June that I want you to pay close attention to. So please, if you're not paying attention up until this point, pay attention right now. It's June. If you're new, or if you're not, if you've been in the game a while, then I'm going to put this out here. We are approaching summer months, which tend, based on the trends of the company, tend to start slowing down a little bit on all that awesome luck we've had of people coming in the doors back in March, April, just like beating the door down to get in there, basically begging for us to take their money. This is the time of year that if you're around an area where there's a college or a university, everybody's going back home, they're going to try canceling their memberships. So I want you to know that there should be always 3 big areas of focus every single month for you. What is that? If you put that in the back of your mind, then you'll be able to follow with all those other little tasks that you have successfully, and you'll be able to put more quality in the things that you do every single month. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to provide you with what I would be doing, and I would hope that you guys would be thinking of the same. Retention. This can be on all levels. This could be proactive and reactive. And what we'd like for you guys to focus on is the fact that you are going to see a slew of people try to cancel that signed up back in March or April that were looking to get something to look good for their summer vacations. But when they're done, right? So what you want to do is create not only that great environment, the great atmosphere that you heard and we've taught you so much about on PBU and franchisee school and so on and so forth about customer experience, but customer satisfaction, something we talked about this morning in our meeting, specifically in our department, is do something in your store that's going to promote your members and customers to write a review about you. Now, you've done your monthly performance reviews with your consultant or with your regional developer to hear us ask you questions. Have you gotten any customer service compliments? Have you gotten any complaints? Remember, always forward it to us, and we're always saying that, but I'm constantly Googling you guys to look and see what the reviews are. Some of us are on top of our A game, some of us are not. A location that does really well with making sure their members and customers are constantly reviewing them is California 129. So I do urge and encourage you to reach out to that location in West Los Angeles and ask them what they do specifically, because their members and customers are constantly writing positive reviews about them. And there's always a direct correlation between that and guest traffic, because I could tell you now, I myself, as an Eileen, will not try a new restaurant without checking out the reviews on it first. So if you want any advice, feel free to contact us or call them specifically, but put something in place that's going to encourage them to want to go and share their experience, even if it's a little sign on the back of every door that says, did you like your experience? Tell us what you think. We care. Post a review about us and let us know, or show it to us and we'll give you a free gift. You can't go and tell them to put something positive. You can't encourage them to put something that is good or a positive review on you just because that you physically can't do that. That's not that goes against the code of all moral here for business, online, for internet, and you could possibly get in trouble for that. But you can tell them to share their experience online, because even if it's a negative one, I would want to know. That way I could fix it. So encourage them to do that and incentivize them with a free gift, because you want them to share in their experience and provide that satisfaction level to them. Also, I want to go through this with you because this is super important. Again, pay attention. With the members that are going to come to you, which will be a whole slew of them, and it's important for you to be on your A game and never slack. Members will come up to you and say, I'm done. I want to be out of my membership. I know I have to give you 60 days or whatever the cancellation fee is, but I'm just done. There is a process that you need to follow. Now, when you're thinking about your net EFT, you're thinking about what's going to make the least impact or hit to my net EFT for my draft, because that is number one. That is king. EFT is king if you want to survive in this business for years to come. With that said, am I going to go straight to the freeze? Absolutely not. Because if you're paying me $59, $69 a month, why would I want to just get $5 or 20% of that off the bat when I can immediately tell you that you can transfer this to somebody else who could pay it in full? So I'm going to really realistically go straight to a transfer and talk to them about, listen, one of the benefits that you had, and the WIFM for them, what's in it for them, is they are free of any obligation as soon as they find somebody to take it over, right? They won't have to pay that fee. They won't have to wait 60 days and get drafted twice more because they're coming to you because they don't want it anymore. So that's going to actually encourage them to find somebody to take it over, because once they do, they're done. They wipe their hands, they're clean, they're not stuck with you for 60 days. So make sure that you discuss that first. Immediately following into that, again, before I just want 20% of that monthly due or even $5, if that's what you guys are still out there doing, for each month, I'm going to take the next step down. I'm going to follow that chart down. If it's a downgrade from a 59 to a 39, $39 is still way more than $5 or $10 or $17, depending on if you do what type of freeze. So I'm going to go for the downgrade first, because typically when they see that you're hooking them up with something, when they see that they can still get something of great value at a great cost, right, then they'll probably be more inclined to saying, you know what, I could probably use that teeth whitening for that wedding next month, or I could probably use that spray tan service, for a couple of different events that I have going on. So this seems like a really good deal I can get. I might be limited by 4 sessions, but, talk to them about that and be a consumer. Talk to them like you would talk to your friend. And then lastly, go for the freeze. But you have to make that effort first and talk to them about what makes sense and what the best choice for them is. Because let me tell you a little secret for all of you out there who might not know this yet. They always come back. And what you're trying to do is avoid them coming back and possibly paying twice as much than they paid before. And look, work it out with them. Yes, there's a 3-month period. There's a 3-month time frame that you have to go through physically. It's in your agreement, right? But if something is a situation for medical purposes, somebody's pregnant, maybe somebody lost their job, and you went all the way down to the freeze, consider saying, listen, I'll do 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, or whatever if it makes you feel better. And anytime you want to use a service, it's just $10, then just, that's, you could still use services. But negotiate with them and show them that you're willing to you'll do whatever it takes to keep them, because that ties into the customer satisfaction, customer experience. They'll refer all their friends to you. They'll say great things about you and market for you when you don't even know that they are. So keep all that in mind. Retention is your number one area of focus for June, guys. Then we have National Sunless Day. I don't want to talk too much about, because I don't want you guys to take your focus off the prize here. Father's Day is a gold mine if you utilize your resources correctly and make sure your focus stays at that. But National Sunless Day is at the end of this month. For those of you who don't know what that is, read up on the marketing guide. It's in the folder. It is a Planet Beach exclusive holiday that we have for you guys to capitalize on driving in Memcash at the very tail end of the month with the specials that we offer. So National Sunless Day should be something. There's one part of it, the Sunless Selfie hashtag. For your members that are coming in doing any type of sunless service, make sure they know that if they decide to check in, most of them do, when they check in to come in and do it, to take a little sunless selfie where, something cute, make it fun, where they're wearing their hairnet or whatever and they're taking a little sunless selfie. I'm just about to get in to get my spray tan or what have you. You can start them trending on that right now just to get awareness up and just so you can kind of sort of get the bug in your community's ear that National Sunless Day is at the end of the month, because we're going to tie that into your member appreciation party as well. Thirdly, the last big area of interest in June, your area of focus for June, proactivity. What's this mean? Basically, in a nutshell, guys, we do not have time to be lazy. All of us have our bad days. Don't get me wrong. I understand that there are some days like Mondays. I got to get on this Monday motivation call. I just can't get motivated to start anything. I just don't know where to start. I feel like I got too much to do. Therefore, I'm just going to sit here and just sulk. Okay? So that can't happen. And when you see it start happening, you have to nip it in the bud right away among your team, even if it's your franchisee, right? I need you to focus. I don't have any time for you to be lazy. I need you to run this group on. I need you to do this. I need you to do that. And the best way to do it is by opening up that folder, you guys, in Orion. Use your resources and your tasks that were just now shown to you guys on the screen. Hopefully you're watching this actually right now. Management reminders, collections. Your whole 1 through 4 outreach with letters sent, email sent, text blast, whatever your follow-ups for every single person in collections have got to be done by Wednesday. And that's only if you want to be successful in June, because this is time management. Using a management calendar or some type of disciplinary approach to yourself to be able to stay on track, stay focused, will help you in knocking all this out in the beginning of the month. That way at the end of the month, all your focus is on is growth. This has to be more of a priority for so many of you. When we log into the back end of your computers, there's so many still that are do not honors sitting in your EFT processing screen, and it just makes my skin crawl. We have to get better at being able to reach out, contact these members, and always remember, this is a little tip for those of you who kind of feel uneasy about it, uncomfortable, maybe you're new. When you're calling to make a collection, always know your outreach, don't make it seem like they are the ones at fault. Don't say, hey, your card didn't go through. Don't say, hey, listen, I'm calling you because your payment bounced or your check bounced. That's a very aggressive approach, and most people will never answer you ever again, or especially if you leave that on a voicemail. So here's my tip to you. Every time you're doing any collections outreach, always, especially for first timers, say that it's your fault. You might have written down an incorrect number. It's probably something on our end. Blame the software. Blame whatever you need to blame, but make sure that you know that your approach is not in a offensive manner, but that you're willing to apologize and that you're accepting the blame for that. You'll find that you're going to get much more response and feedback, especially if you're doing text outreach and you're using your Google Voice app, right? And you're like, hey, I feel so stupid. I apologize. So, I'm super, super sorry. This is our fault. I think we've written down the wrong information for you. I don't think we have the correct info. This is my fault. Please give me a call back. I'd like to be able to make sure that this gets alleviated, and if there is any kind of problem, we'll work around it. So, if it isn't us and it is you, basically let us know how we can fix it, and make sure that you're taken care of and you're not put out and your membership does not get interrupted. That's just a little bit of helpful verbiage for you guys to steal and take back with you for your collections. We need to put more focus on using these resources, you guys. This calendar, literally, there's no need to try and reinvent the wheel and be a marketing genius to make your spa successful. Literally, use it daily, at least. Just follow those 3 bullets, 2 to 3 bullets that you see on every single day's tasks along with your marketing checklist. But you can utilize that every single day, and at least this way you're doing bare minimum, but you are always welcome to do even more to push yourselves. So do that. Get more disciplined on yourselves. Crack the whip on yourselves. Or franchisees, come down a little bit stronger when it comes to talking to your spa directors about this calendar. It has brought so much success to so many locations that it'd be silly to not try just another avenue and follow a different process to possibly try to hit and exceed your goals even more. If you haven't met up with your team to review May and discuss June, be sure to do that. Write that down. And then also the training webinar this Wednesday, you guys are going to love this one. This is actually something that one of our consultants brought up, and we were like, oh my gosh, you know what? We have so many PB products on our shelves that probably don't move in a lot of your stores. We have products that are awesome that we've tried that we love very much, but we never either get an opportunity to sell it or our focus is too much on specific other products. So with that said, all the fads out there, the It Works wrap, the facial skin, the Body by Vive, Asalis, and all those other MLM products that we see out there. We see the infomercials. We see Facebook, and we see all of our friends selling the stuff that helps them lose weight, clear up their skin, whatever the case might be. Just know there's always a comparable product, usually always a comparable product that we offer in our spas that can provide the same benefits that have even better products most of the time, ingredients most of the time in it. So what this webinar is going to do for you guys this Wednesday is it's going to help you and your team understand when you hear conversations in your lobby, when you hear members talking or when the members are talking to you about what they're doing, they're trying this stuff, they're trying that stuff, they'll be able to identify immediately to say, you know what? Let me tell you a little bit about what we have, because we have the same thing, only here's the difference. Our ingredients are not that chemical, nasty stuff that they're probably not telling you about, and go through that kind of stuff. You'll be more successful in increasing your retail sales on those items that you never thought you'd ever move. So please be sure you register for that webinar, as you are going to thank us later for that. And speaking of products, your product of the week, in case you didn't know, is the Debonair Sunless Spray. Couple of tips that I want to give to you guys. Don't discount right away. This stuff is worth its weight in gold. Do you hear me? This stuff is amazing. I am a huge, huge fan of the Debonair, specifically the Debonair spray, mainly because it's got the formula that is more of that Venetian color than it is the regular, brown orange sunless color with the DHA formulas like before. So first off, that's going to be super, super helpful, especially if you're a spa or a location that has the specific Venetian formula that I'm talking about, that Norvell really creates, the more brown with the violet undertones. So if not only is that already a win, but I personally, myself, got 3 full body uses out of one of these sprays before. So it's super helpful when you have those members or customers coming in to get a spray tan for a cruise. You can upsell on this because you can say, listen, if you're going on a 5-7 day cruise and they're going to ask how long is this going to, how long before it starts fading, you can say, well, I'll tell you what, if you want, I can go ahead and get you set up. We have our Debonair Sunless Spray. Many members use this as touch-up, or when they, accidentally go out in the rain and then they notice they have imperfections. They use this to fix any imperfections that they might have caused on themselves. And it also is just like getting spray tanned, only it's in a can and you do it yourself. So many people like to do this, and they like to take this with them on vacation because, let's face it, people are getting in the water. They're getting in the, salt water in the ocean, or they're getting in a swimming pool with chlorine. It strips it. So this is going to be super helpful in tying it along with your second quarter campaign. Let's not forget, they get the $10 spa bucks too. So try and I'm sorry, not $10 spa bucks, $10 rewards dollars. So then that way you can push them to buy 2 of them. That way their purchase is over $50. So you get more money in the bank, and they have something to spend for their next product purchase and guarantee that they're going to come back. So this is good stuff. So to pay attention to those who are going on vacation, pay attention to those that are spraying for a specific occasion or event, pictures, whatever the case might be. Here, let me get you set up with this, because you are going to be so addicted to this that you're never going to stop using it, and you'll thank me later. But that's the kind of stuff that you can be on the lookout for, pay attention to, and you can use Facebook advertising if you're doing any of that. We do have artwork for that in the folder as well. To run through this pretty quickly, Father's Day campaigning this week is what I want you guys to focus on. As you see, 3 services for $30 of his choice. Give your dad the gift of relaxation. Guys, you have services that dads would love, that men love using. You have things that are not specific target just for women. So this is going to be super helpful in driving in mem cash and as a buy it back tool. I'm very excited to announce that our marketing guide has become so much more detailed for you that you literally can walk into your spa with 0 training, and following this guide will be successful. Because as you see the screenshot here, and that's just a little snippet of it. It literally walks you through how to pull reports, on how to do the outreach, on what to send, and what the purpose of everything is, and what the goal is, and what the end result will be if you follow it. So get in there, use that guide. It's going to be a super helpful tool, especially for you to give directive to any staff members that you still might be training or are new. If they can read, you can set expectations for them to drive in guest traffic and revenue right now. So that's the positive about that. And all the artwork is where I told you it was. You see it down there on your screen in the June folder underneath the 2016 campaigns and advertising and marketing. As you see on the screen as well, we basically have the templates for you to send out for blasts on text messages, on emails, and all you need to do literally for the email artwork is plug it into the body of the email and hyperlink it with your Google form that you create today if you've not done it already. This way, when you put it in the body of the email, you don't have to write anything, because when you write the novels, when you put too much verbiage on it, they don't read it. But images, however, they see, they understand it, it's catching their eye, and they're understanding that all I need to do is click here, and I'm going to claim my dad's gift. That's simple. Just make sure you link up the form that they can fill out, so that way you're seeing these responses come through, and it's not people that you're soliciting, that you're cold calling. So when you have any staff members that are afraid to make calls, afraid to go out and get people's names, numbers, this is literally a list of people saying, hey, me, take my money, literally call me, I want one. And so when you're reaching out, it's not going to feel as if there is any type of annoyance or soliciting going on. So your staff members are going to feel more confident, which in turn will mean more success for you guys. Now, I've taken up too much of your time already. I was just so excited to get back on the phone with you guys and get back in your ears and get you back out there motivated again. If you have any questions regarding what you should be doing today, this week, anything at all that we discussed, period, then please contact us at spaperformance@planetbeach.com. In the meantime, make sure you follow all your to-dos, all your things, everything that you have to do, and make sure that you have the positive attitude and spin on it, and lead by example, folks. It will not ever get started for you. You got to start it yourself, and you guys are eagles. So until next Monday, don't forget to be awesome. Bye, guys.